Hey guys, welcome to the next video on Jenkins tutorial for beginners. In the last few videos, we have seen how to install Jenkins on variety of operating systems like Windows, Mac OS, and Linux operating system. Now moving forward, I'm going to use my Ubuntu operating system in order to demonstrate Jenkins functionalities, because most commonly and most frequently Jenkins is used on a Linux operating system. But having said that, if you are running Jenkins on Windows or Mac operating system, you can also follow along with this series, because most of the time we will be working with this Jenkins UI on a browser, so it doesn't matter on which operating system I'm working on. Now, if you want to practice Jenkins on a Linux machine, it's also easy. If you have Windows or Mac operating system, what you can do is you can install VirtualBox or VMware Player, which are the software using which you can install Linux or any other operating system virtually on your Mac or your Windows operating system. I have already made some videos on how you can install Ubuntu on VirtualBox and VMware Player. So if you want to use Ubuntu or any other Linux system virtually on Windows, then you can install VirtualBox or VMware Player and install Linux, and then install Jenkins on it, and you can follow along with this series. So in this video, I'm going to show you how you can create your first Jenkins job. So let's create our first Jenkins job. So what I'm going to do in this Jenkins job is I have a Java program on my operating system which I want to build and run using Jenkins. And I'm going to show you how you can do it using your first Jenkins job. So to create a Jenkins job, you can either click on this link which says create new jobs, or you can click on this option which says new item. So I'm going to click on this option which says create new job, and then you will see here an interface which says enter an item name. So I'm going to give my Jenkins job name as hello world here. Okay. Now you will be able to see few options under this name. So there is a freestyle project, pipeline, multi-configuration project, folder, and other options. So to start with, we are going to start with the freestyle project. So just choose the freestyle project and then click OK. And once your job is created, you will be able to see this kind of a window here. So first we need to configure our Jenkins job. So the first thing here is the general tab, and here you can provide a simple description about your job. So what this job is going to do is going to build and run Java program, let's say. So here you can provide a simple description about your project, and also you can preview your description here. So it will be shown like this on your job window. We can configure it and change this thing in the future so that we will be able to use the HTML tags also in the description. And now let's move to the next section. So under the description, you will be able to see discard old builds when you build your Jenkins job, or GitHub project, or this project is parameterized. For now, we will not be using any of these options. So just leave everything as unchecked, and we will move to the next section, which is source code management. Now by default, you will see three options here. One is none, second is Git, and third is Subversion. So for now, we will choose the none option because we will not be using any source control management system for this video. But in future, we will be using Git or Subversion in order to pull the source code from the GitHub, for example, and then how to build or run the test on it. So just choose the none option here, and then we will move to the build triggers. You can also click on this option, which will just lead you to this category. Now here you will see few options. First option is trigger builds remotely. We will see this in the next video. Build after other projects are built. This also we are going to see in the next video. The third option is build periodically. So we are going to choose this option for this video. And the next option is GitHub hook trigger for Git SCM polling and poll SCM, which is for the source code management system. So these options we are going to see in the future when I'm going to show you how you can configure Git and other options into your Jenkins. Now by the name you can just guess that this option is going to build or run your test periodically. But how we can configure our Jenkins to run periodically? So for the help, you can just click on this question mark here, and then you will be able to see all the options which you can use here. So you can see this field follows the syntax of cron, right? So for example, when I write asterisk, 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 asterisk using spaces, so 5 asterisks, and between them I have used spaces. This means that I want to run my Jenkins job every minute. And when you do this, you will be able to see the hint here. So it says, do you really mean every minute? When you say asterisk, 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 and then it says perhaps you meant other option, right? So this, when you write 5 times asterisk with the spaces in between them, it means that you want to run your Jenkins job every minute. Now if you want to read more, you can read this whole document. So you can see in the help window here, this asterisk means these 5 options. So the first asterisk here means the minute, the second asterisk is for the hour, third is for the date of month, fourth is the month, and fifth is the day of the week, right? And you will be able to see also some examples here when you scroll down a little. So for example, if you want to run your Jenkins job every 15 minutes, you can use this option, for example. So I'm going to just copy this and paste it here. And now it says would last have run at Saturday at this time, and the next time will be 15 minutes after that. Okay, so if you have any confusion, you can read this document, and you can also use these examples in order to run your Jenkins job. So to start with, we are going to start building our Jenkins job every minute. So we are going to just give 5 asterisks here. Okay, and you can once again collapse this help window when you click on this question mark here once again. Now let's go to the build environment, which is this option. So the first option here is delete workspace before build starts. So we don't want to delete our workspace, so we will not check this option. Second is use secret text and file. We will see this option later. Third is abort the build if it's stuck. We can also use it later. Add timestamp on the console output. This we can use it, but I'm going to skip this for now because we want to build a very simple Jenkins job, and I'm going to skip also the last option. So I don't want to check any of the check boxes in the build environment. Now the next option is the build option, and here you can just choose which type of build you want to perform. So if you are on Windows, you can choose this option which says execute Windows batch command, which is the Windows terminal. If you are on Mac or Linux, you can choose this option which says execute shell, which is like executing command on your terminal. Now what we want to do in this execute shell. So let me show you what I want to build here. So in my home folder, I have a directory called Java sample. And in this directory, I have a file called hello-world.java. And when I open this file, I have a simple hello world program written here, which only prints hello world, right? So I want to build this program using Jenkins. So to build this program, I know that I can use Java C command to compile my Java program. So I'm going to just copy the path where this file is located, which is in this location, which is home, my username, and this Jenkins sample project. And I'm going to just cd to this directory. So cd to the Java samples directory. Now here I can just run javac command in order to compile my hello world.java file, right? So this is going to compile my code, and to run my hello world program, I can just use java and then hello world, which will be the executable file. So these three lines, what they are going to do, first of all, we are going to change directory to the Java samples directory, and then javac is going to compile my hello world.java file, and then java hello world is going to run my program. So after doing this, you can just press on save, which is going to save your configuration. And if you want to change this configuration in future, you can always go to this option. So on the left hand side, you will be able to see this option which says configure, and when you press on this option, this configuration window will open once again where we have done our configuration, right? And when you click on this option which says Jenkins, you will come to the Jenkins home page. Now in here you will see first of all that there is no build here, and the status of this build is shown by this glowing sun, right? And our project name is, or our Jenkins job name is hello world. Now we have configured our Jenkins job to run every minute, right? So I'm going to click on this Jenkins job for now, and you can see even if we haven't started any Jenkins job, it has already started my Jenkins job, and the status here is a red ball, which means my job has failed. Okay, so we will see why my job has failed. So what I can do here is I can click on this job. You can just click on this and you will see this kind of window, and it says red here, which means failed. And when you want to see more about your build status, you can always go here which says console output, which is going to show what exactly happened. And now in the console output, you will be able to see what happened while running your job and why your job failed. So in here I can see this message. So while performing this step, which is javac hello world.java, it says this message. So error is error while writing hello world.class, permission denied. And this most probably happens when Jenkins doesn't have permission as a sudo user on a Linux machine. Most probably on Windows it will run fine, but on Linux we need to provide Jenkins the sudo privileges. So let's change the sudo privileges. So let's go to the hello world, and you can see already there are 3 builds because we have configured to run Jenkins every minute. So don't worry about this. What we are going to do is we are going to open the terminal. To open the terminal, I can just go here and just search for the terminal or press Ctrl+Alt+T on my Ubuntu operating system. And first of all, what I need to do here is I need to open a file using a sudo privileges. So just write sudo and then /etc/sudoer. Okay, so I'm going to give you this command in the description also. So just write sudo and then any tool which can open and edit your file. For me, I'm going to use gedit, or you can use nano or vi, or the best would be sudo vi sudo. Okay, so just write sudo gedit /etc/sudoers and then press enter, and then give your Ubuntu's password or Debian's password, and then at the end I'm going to just give a little space here, and then at the end I just need to just give Jenkins user all the privileges, and I want to just give no password here so that it will not ask for the password. Okay, so just provide this line in your Ubuntu operating system in order to provide Jenkins the sudo command privileges, right? And then just save this and then close this. And now I'm going to go to the configure section once again, and in here, instead of writing javac something like this, I can always give a sudo to compile my program. So just write sudo in front of javac, and if you are on Windows, most probably you won't be needing this sudo command. So just skip this sudo command if you are on Windows, right? So I'm going to save this once again, and I'm going to build my program. So this button is going to build your program immediately. So it will not wait for the periodic trigger to build your Jenkins job. It will build your Jenkins job immediately. So you can see now our job shows a blue ball. This means the last build was successful. So let's go inside this build and then go to the console output, and you can see now it prints hello world, right? So once again, I'm going to go to my job, and you can see all the previous jobs have failed because we haven't provided Jenkins the sudo privileges. But now you can see this is the periodic build which has been started and it's successful. So in this section you can see the times at which your build started and what was the status of build using the color of these balls. And when you go on the main page, when you click on Jenkins here, you will be able to see blue ball here, which means that last build was successful. And when you see this kind of rainy cloud here, and when you hover over this cloud, you will see the status of last 5 builds. So you can see it says build stability, 3 out of last 5 builds failed, right? And when I run this build few times once again, so when I want to just run this Jenkins job 5 times so that the last 5 builds will be successful. So you can see 4 out of 5 are now successful, and now you can see this icon has changed. So now the icon is like sunny and little bit cloudy, and it says 1 out of 5 build have failed, right? So it shows the last 5 build, and once your last 5 builds are successful or were successful, then you will see the whole sun here. So I'm going to refresh this page, and I'm going to go to the build here, and let's see if the build has been started, or we will start it manually using build now button, and it's going to start the build, and you can see the last 5 builds are successful now. And when I go to the Jenkins home page, you can see this bright sun here, and you can see the message here which says no recent build failed. So here this icon always shows the status of last 5 build, and this will show if your job is in progress or it's already is failing, or last build was successful if it's blue. Now in this table you will also see some other sections here. So this is the section where last build occurred. So for example, 8.9 seconds ago last build was occurred, and this was the build number 14, and last failure was 3 minutes ago, which was in build number 9. And by default this status doesn't refresh by itself. There is a small option here on the right hand side top, and you can click on this which says enable auto refresh, and this is going to enable the auto refresh after few seconds, so you will be able to see the most refreshed status here. Okay, so you can see it refreshes after few seconds, and you can see the status last build, last success was 47 seconds ago, and last failure was 4 minutes 47 seconds ago. So this is how you can create your first Jenkins job. In the next video, we are going to see some other options of running our job remotely or running our job in chain. So stay tuned and please rate, comment, and subscribe, and bye for now.